Well, of course, we're all not drunk, and we don't have any technical problems.
Yay? I mean, I'm sad that we're not all drunk.
Sure, it's just always tech problems when we are drunk.
That's, yeah, and of course when we're least able to solve them.
Indeed. But we're live. Hello.
Aww.
We will be starting this bitch sooner than later.
Start this bitch. Woo!
Okay. God, I hate iTunes. It's just forever closing iTunes when I didn't want it open to begin with.
That should be the name of your memoirs. Forever Closing iTunes, the Blythe Renee story.
I think a lot of people would be able to relate because I'm also constantly closing iTunes.
Instant bestseller. Good evening, everyone. Blah, blah, blah.
You're not cooking, baby.
That was actually completely, totally different. The fuck 80s self. But I can see how you would think that blah, blah, blah is sort of related to blah, 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 blah. You're not cooking, yeah, dude.
It's all the same.
Oh, John and Elvis are having an adorable little reunion in the chat.
Oh.
Man, you guys were fucking ready to go tonight.
Yeah, they were.
Chat is hopping.
Well, let's not disappoint. Let's get into the meat of things.
Already?
Rich, juicy meat.
That sounds...
Asking us not to disappoint is... That's a lot of pressure, I feel.
Right, it really is. Like, oh God, who are you? My
mother?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Either way.
Okay.
Josh says, you're always surprised when you see us here at the start. And then in all caps, we're more punctual than you are.
Dude, that is so true. And I ain't even mad.
Man, you say that, but we're here. We're usually just sorting shit out. It's not like a scramble. It's just like we have shit to sort before we go live.
I don't think
you guys don't have to see us go like, what are we doing? Where are we? Okay, this thing happened and this, I don't want to talk about this thing, but you don't mention that thing.
Blythe, being on time for work means you're prepared to start working at your start time. So if you're not ready...
Cast me out, demons of my boss.
Are you kidding? These conversations are work.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm here early, bitch. They just don't. Oh man. Oh yeah, I forgot to hang on. Let me update a show note real quick.
No. You dumb bitch.
I need to put that on a painting, Amanda. Just you dumb bitch.
I think you should.
You know, I'm pretty sure somebody has done a really high quality painting.
Okay.
Wait,
why are you going up? You fucking dickhead. That was such a throw up. Meow.
That is no way to talk to your husband.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought somebody was vomiting, but he wasn't.
Tell Sean to try to hold it in.
Yeah.
Oh, they said to try and hold it in, Sean.
Oh,
he would.
Fat baby. Who is a fat
He's
baby?
so mad. He's not fat. He's just fucking fluffy.
Aww. Yeah, though that sound though, when you hear the sound of cat vomit, you're like, oh no, where's it happening? Not in my shoes. Ah!
I have bolted upright out of bed to go save the cat from vomiting on something, or to save the stuff from being vomited upon, I suppose.
So there's two types of my cat's vomit. One, she's vomiting up a hairball. And then the second type is she ate way too fast and made herself sick, and now she's throwing it up. And for the second kind, I don't worry nearly as much because she's just going to eat it again.
Ew.
So yeah, I'm just like, whatever. Like, so yeah,
Right.
if I hear that sound like 10 minutes after she finished her breakfast or something, I'm just like, well, you have at it, kitty. Clean up your own
conversations
stuff.
always make me really wish I had a cat.
Hungry? Oh, right.
Nope. Not hungry either.
Not even for
Hey,
sucking
Sean.
a cat.
Will you bring me a LaCroix? Yeah. Oh man.
No, Aaron and Zach, we will not mention things. We will not mention either thing.
Also, Elvis. We won't mention the thing. We won't mention either thing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I misread. I misread something because I don't line things up well in my brain with my eyes.
It happens. We know. I just need Elvis to know that at least the rest of us know. Oh, I don't give a shit, honey.
We read it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start this shit, y'all. Oh,
What?
let me open this first. So it doesn't make noise during the podcast. There we go.
Good idea. Welcome
Okay.
to.
All right. Okay. I have my show notes. You guys have your show notes?
Yeah.
Let us, as they say, fucking do it.
Oh, sure that.
Barely.
Sure, that. Okay. Oh my god, please don't die. Sorry, I just tripped my husband with my light cord. I wasn't even there, but I did it.
Still your
Sorry,
fault.
honey. Love you. Okay, here we go.
Excitement.
Hello, and welcome to episode 74 of the Dork Pridecast. My name is Blythe.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Rissy. We make up a comedy group called the Damsels of Dorkington, and this is our podcast, which is also funny, depending on how much you like poop jokes and dick jokes, or if you're drunk, which sadly we are not this week.
Womp womp.
Hashtag
Yeah.
That's okay.
Because
though.
we
can have
certainly
sober fun.
were on
Oh,
Sunday.
Jesus. Yeah, man.
Ooh. That was-
For those of you who were not here on Sunday, we got super sloshed and podcasted.
Yes, we did.
If you are a patron, you can see that. Yeah, you can see the video. You can also listen to the audio in your very own super secret special patron only stream. So, this is the first time we've used that. So I'm really excited. And I was so drunk that initially when I posted the audio version of the podcast for the patrons, I posted the Drunk Pridecast from December. So our Christmas Drunk Pridecast.
Oopsie.
So yeah. So in case anyone wanted to question the authenticity of our drunkenness,
Yeah.
you don't have to. If you're not a patron and you want to listen to that episode, you totally can. All you have to do is pledge at least $1 a month, and it is yours. And so are other podcasts, and you can have access to the backlog of the videos and We're going to be doing more bonus podcasts going forward. So think about getting on that train.
We've got a big cornfield backlog as well, waiting for you.
Something else that you can get if you become a patron before the end of, like you'd have to go become a patron right now. But if you were to become a patron,
4 hours.
That's right.
If you're watching live.
At the $10 level and above, the reward for that for January is this amazing magnet. It's a character. It's a picture of a character of Rissy shoving a porg in her mouth. So
delicious porg. KFP.
We have others in the works for Amanda and myself, which we're very excited about. So those will be February and March. That's the 3rd month.
Yep. Good job.
We're gonna see smart weather.
And one more bonus of becoming a patron. Amanda, do you want to tell them what the other bonus of becoming a patron in January is?
They're not behind you anymore.
They are. They're just not up. I had to take pictures of them.
Because they... Oh, yes.
That's the most important one.
Yep. Dicks.
Here's the second most important one.
Aw.
Badge.
Live Sauron.
And then here's the one I made.
Oh, yours is cool, Blythe.
No, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I made it with our own blood.
We actually bleed in our colors.
We bleed purple, green, and red. I mean, obviously.
Blythe's oxygen carrier is potassium, and Amanda's is copper.
Yeah.
I'm actually one of the aliens from V.
Or a Vulcan.
Nope. From V.
Oh, all right, you gotta get a fucking hamster then and show us that jaw.
That's only for patrons.
Oh, right, yes. If you, at some point, we'll show you Amanda's distended jaw and how she eats a hamster since she's an alien from V. If all that and more can be yours. That's at the $1,000 a month level. You get to see Amanda's alien parts.
We are creeping closer.
No, I meant for someone who contributes $1,000 a month.
No. I
cool.
understand what you meant. I was taking it back into the real world.
Oh, okay. Why would you do that? Why though?
Somebody has to.
It's a thing I like to do periodically. Not all the time, but every once in a while. We are creeping closer to the goal that would unlock the bonus podcast of you two.
Yeah.
Talking about your D&D sessions, which I'm really excited about.
I really want this to fucking happen. I'm so stoked. Oh my god. Because man, shit is getting weird in our game.
I'm kind of tempted to have you guys start recording them now.
I've thought about that too. Like,
and then we
should start, especially just because there's stuff to talk about, and
exactly
so much stuff to talk about. Jesus honking Christ!
It seems like it.
Well, for one, we would want just one kind of introductory session, right, to explain who the characters are, what exactly has been going on, that kind of stuff. What's the general, campaign dynamics? How we horrifyingly abuse our poor, long-suffering GM, and speculate as to why he puts up with us.
Honestly, I think you guys should make that happen, and we can just have them in the bank. And then when we hit that goal,
right,
start dropping them like rabbit poops.
Drop it. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I was hoping that poop would happen.
I mean, come on.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what about pee, Rissy? Is pee gonna happen?
You bitch. No, not tonight. We talked about this.
Yeah,
Weren't you supposed to talk about it on Sunday?
Yeah, but I forgot because I was drunk.
Well, it's just I'll tell an embarrassing story if you do.
Okay, but then Amanda has to tell something.
As long as I get to choose the something, yes.
You can choose the something.
Oh, fuck. Are we really doing this now? I haven't had nearly enough drink. All right, fine. So. Okay, I am going to finish my wine, though.
Isn't that what got you into the trouble in the first place?
No, actually, I didn't have anything to drink the night of. That's the worst part.
I am eager to hear this story because I'm the one who's out of the loop on this motherfucker.
Yeah, yes, Blythe has not. No, because we were
shit.
saving it so that she could actually respond to it organically, and then we forgot to tell the story. Yes.
Right. Well, this is, so hopefully this will coax people to become patrons. Because the shit you hear on the Dork Pridecast will be even weirder.
That's true.
During the Christmas holidays, before embarking on my journey north of the wall, I was staying with my bestest friend and co-author of my clones series of time travel erotic comedy novels, Time Hangers. And for those of you who don't know, I take a lot of pills to keep my crazy from leaking out too much. And just kind of overtaking my life, like, so I can masquerade as a functional human being.
I thought you said masturbate for a second. I also would like to masturbate as a functional human being.
Actually, it's funny. One of the pills that I take inhibited that from happening.
Oh no.
Yeah, it is a drug called buspirone, and in women,
we're not. No,
that's not the story.
That's not the story. Okay. Come on.
Less details, more details.
This one we haven't.
Okay. So less details, more details is pretty brilliant, though.
Thank you.
So I'm staying with my bestest friend, Melissa. And so one of the medications that I take is called trazodone. It helps me sleep, basically. Some of the antidepressants that I take are very stimulating, and so they will keep you up at night and not let you sleep. So I take trazodone, and I had some difficulties sleeping the night before. And so on this one particular night, and then the next day, it was basically like my second to last day there. And the next day was going to be fairly eventful. Amanda and I were going to go see a movie together and have lunch. It was going to be really fun. And that day, like, I had been fairly productive. I don't remember if it was writing or what I'd been doing, but I'd actually like done something worthwhile. And so I took a little extra trazodone because I'm like, fuck it. I haven't been getting very good sleep the last few nights, and I really want to be well rested tomorrow. And so I took some extra trazodone and I went to sleep feeling very good about myself and my place in the world. And unfortunately, sometimes the balance of my psychoactive medications gives me very vivid dreams. And when you were a kid and you'd have that dream that you're going to the bathroom and then you have to wake up real fast and run to the bathroom so you don't pee your bed. Only in my nightmare, it's a couch that I'm sleeping on. And to make matters worse, so there are two couches in the living room, and one of them is Melissa's husband's couch that he prefers to sit on, and then one is a chase lounge that I normally sleep on, but it's kind of like, it's really firm. And so my back was kind of hurting. So I had crawled over to the husband couch, which is the couch that I deluged with about 80 fucking gallons of hot urine. It was one of those, like, I woke up and because I'm in my dream, I'm like, oh man, this pee is amazing. I drunk so much liquid, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh no. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I didn't pee too much. Let's run to the bathroom. No, I had nothing left to come out of me by the time I made it to the fucking bathroom. All of it had made its way out onto the couch. I peed the couch. I totally peed my best friend's couch. My best friend's husband's preferred couch. And
oh
so,
my God, how did he not light you on fire?
Okay, we're getting to that.
Light you on fire, but you put yourself out.
With my own urine.
She actually couldn't catch fire.
So at this point, after sitting in the bathroom contemplating suicide for about 10 minutes, I decided, I'm like, okay, well, so first of all, my best friend goes to work really early in the morning. And since it's Christmas, her husband is home, but he's on his computer drinking his morning coffee. And I'm like, okay, so he doesn't necessarily ever have to know what's going on. So we're just gonna go out into the living room, and I'm like, oh, my horrifying soaked pajama pants. So I took them off and put on a towel. So I'm like, maybe he'll think that I'm about to shower. Yes, this is a good plan, and I'll just figure out what to do. So I kind of gonna go back into the living room, and I'm just like, everything's normal and fine, everything's okay. And I basically like look at the spot. It is horrifying. Like the pee has seeped like all the way over the side of the couch and underneath the cushion. Like, oh God, so much pee. I'm like, how did I have so much pee inside my body? What the fuck am I, a camel? I don't even know. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna drop off my pee pants over here on the floor where no one can see them and just leave them for now. I'm just gonna go real nonchalant into the kitchen, go in the kitchen, get some paper towels. I'm like,
okay, so what happened?
I know, Jesus, you take the longest time to tell a very short story.
Well, no, that's what I'm trying to illustrate, the way I was behaving during this time. I was basically like trying so hard to be nonchalant. I was practically fucking tap dancing.
He did mention afterwards, she's like, yeah, I noticed she was being real weird. Like super weird.
Because yeah, I'm not saying anything during this time. So I go and get the entire roll of paper towels, and I'm just like frantically fucking stuffing it all over the fucking couch also while trying not to be seen. And then I'm like, okay, so I'll just let that absorb. But for now, I need to conceal my crimes. So what should I do it with? Ah, yes, this hot pink blanket. That will definitely not draw any attention to the giant pee spot. And then while that settles, I'm like, okay, we'll just let the paper towels absorb. And then I'll tell Melissa in text form, and then she can help me figure out a solution. Yes, that is what must happen, because I realized like there's no fucking way I could absorb all of the pee. So I go and I shower and like try not to scrub off all my skin and sob like it's the fucking crying game in there. So then I get dressed again, trying to be real nonchalant, normal, and but also avoid sitting on the couch on the pink blanket that I just kind of casually left there. And I text Melissa, and she told me later. So she was very reasonable. She was like, "Oh, haha, that's funny. Well, we'll figure something out." She told me that she was so stunned, she had absolutely no fucking idea how to react in the moment to being told I peed the couch.
That's fair. That's fair.
Right? Yeah. How do you fucking deal with that? Though apparently she went and told her coworker Vanjie, because she was like, I had to tell somebody. It's too weird not to tell somebody. And so Vanjie is the person who's watching my cat during this time, because Melissa's husband's extremely allergic. And she told Vanjie, and Vanjie was like, well, the cat didn't have any accidents, so I guess I win.
She probably did win.
Yeah, kind of. So Melissa, then she texted me. She's like, you know what? We've actually got some pet pee spray left over from my dog that we can use on the couch. And then of course that was when Amanda's like, "Hey, I'm coming your way to pick you up. Let's go to the movie." And I'm like, because what if Josh finds out? So I told Melissa, I'm like, okay, so I'm going out to lunch and a movie with Amanda. I left the stain is covered, and yeah, there's paper towels in there, slowly absorbing stuff. So yeah, I should be home like right around the time that you are. And so I go with Amanda. I tell Amanda what happened. She was amazingly not cruel to me.
None of this is relevant.
No. You are glossing over, like you are adding a lot of details and missing some very important ones. I show up at the house. She's still in the bathroom getting ready. I go in, I'm like, we talk a little bit. We come out. She's going to finish getting dressed. I go and sit down on the couch is not the one that her shit is all spread over, meaning her clothes. And she's like, oh.
I did not poop the couch.
She goes, you probably shouldn't sit there. I'm like, why? And she goes, I peed there. I'm like, what the fuck? Her way of dealing with it is to just throw a blanket on top of it.
Well, I put paper towels on first.
Paper towels and then a blanket. Like, if you can't see it,
It's not there.
It's not there. Well, I was just stalling for time, basically, to figure out how I could actually, remove the horrible seepage from the couch.
Understandable. Yeah, there's not really a good way to deal with that. But of course, Melissa shares this story with Josh because you can't not.
Yeah, we're out of the movie.
They have a good laugh, and then they're like, is she going to be really sensitive about this, or can we give her shit about it? So we get back from the movie, we go inside, because I'm like, I'm going to come in for a little bit because I need to see how this plays out.
Well, and the thing is, Melissa had prepped me. She'd been like, so I told Josh, and we washed the cushions. Everything's okay. Thank God you actually peed on this couch, not the other ones, because those don't have removable liners and they can't be washed. So if you're going to pee on a couch, it's good that you picked this one.
You picked the right one to pee on.
Silver lining. And she's like, I did tell Josh, and he's not really angry. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Because at that point, he would have been justified in setting me on fire.
He comes in. His first interaction with Rissy is to take a rolled up magazine and start bopping her on the nose, bad, you're bad.
He's like, no. And I'm like, yes, I deserve this. I deserve this so much.
You're just lucky he didn't try to rub your nose in it, literally.
It's true.
Apparently they considered it, but decided that might be a bit too much.
So that's the story of how I peed my friend's couch.
Well, it's a good story. Mine's not nearly as embarrassing.
Oh, damn it.
However, I did something today that I have never done before in my entire life.
Your first shark?
I wish. I'm excited. I'm jonesing for it, but it has not happened.
You may not be far enough past 30.
Yeah, I know. I'm impatiently waiting. No. I ran out of gas.
Oh, dag. I've never done that.
I literally I haven't either. But it's been so fucking cold and windy, and normally it's not too cold in Texas, but there's a lot of flatness here. So Amanda and Rissy are both from Kansas at some point in their lives. So they know. Okay, or fuck off.
The Kansas City area shall suffice.
They both don't have mountains, Amanda. You don't need to clarify.
That's not why I feel the need.
Amanda's really into being from a slave state.
It's fine.
I'm really into being from a free state.
I'm into the fact that Brownback is no longer.
I know, right? But anyway,
they're both terrible in their own ways. Anyway,
yeah, sure. Okay, so yes, I've been kind of letting my car. I let my car run on fumes for basically the first time. I'm pretty conservative. When I'm getting low, I will fill up. And it was cold. It was near freezing. I didn't want to stand there in early morning or late evening. I just didn't want to deal with it. And I knew that today it was going to be warmer in the afternoon. So I thought, it's fine. I can get gas before I leave for work. It'll be warmer. And I can get home. Well, I forgot. And I got on the highway.
Oopsie.
And I was cruising down the highway, and I looked down and I was like, oh shit. So I'm like, well, it's not doing anything weird. And I've been in a car that ran out of gas before.
Okay, I've never done that, so I have no idea what that's like.
And that car, it tried to kind of stall out a couple times before it fully died.
Okay.
Well, mine didn't. So
Uh-oh.
I got very, very lucky. I was in the parking lot of the gas station.
Oh, wow.
And it died, and it would not start again. I was on a little bit of an incline, so I think that the gas was what little there was couldn't get to the front. So
still, that's really not bad.
Yes, but I'm still fuck. We're supposed to meet soon for this podcast. I don't know how to get there. So anyway, so I'm panicked. I've never done this before. I go inside and I'm like, hey, do you guys sell gas cans? And they're like, yes. So I grab one and I fill it up. And I'm like, okay, this is not a big deal. I can do this. I fill it up. Then I start looking at the nozzle and realize I don't know how this works. So I look at the can and it says peel this label for instructions. I'm like, okay, great. I peel it. It peels so poorly that I can't read even half of the instructions, let alone all of them. So now I'm really panicking and time is just slipping away at this point. I'm And I'm just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So it has this weird button on it, on the nozzle itself. And I pour without pushing it and nothing comes out. I pour with pushing it and nothing comes out. It's a whole fucking nightmare. I'm fucking with it. Finally, someone takes pity on me, comes along, and he's like, hey, do you need help? And I'm like, yeah. And he looks at the gas can and he goes, I don't know how this works either.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He's like, the pumps are right there. I'm just going to push your car. Put it in neutral. And I was like,
Thank
you know, we're on a little bit of an incline, right? Just put it in neutral. Okay, fine. So I put it in neutral. He can't do it. He can't push it. And I've got to steer, so I can't help him. And so I'm like, fuck. So then somebody else has to stop. And now I'm just like fucking mortified. I'm like, I am a 32-year-old woman who just ran out of fucking gas like she's a goddamn 16-year-old child who doesn't know how fucking cars work. And now I'm having to have these fucking strangers physically push my car to the fucking gas pump. I felt so inadequate as a human being. But you know what? At least I didn't pee my best friend's couch.
Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you!
I'm just kidding. I love you.
I love you too. But it's true. At least you didn't piss your best friend's couch. I did that. That totally happened.
It's drugs. What do you do? Like, it's not.
It was such a great night of sleep too that ended just so fucking horrifyingly.
No kidding.
I was also had I not peed myself, I would have been relieved. I'm like, oh well, at least I didn't have any cuckoo pants, crazy banana fucking dreams this time around. Nope, I just had a really nice, relaxing dream.
Yeah, too relaxing.
Very relaxing.
Usually when you dream that you're peeing, there's never any relief because you still actually have to pee. So
yeah, no, this was just like, it's
nice,
so warm here.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Wait, what? It just happened? Shit. Not literally shit, because it wasn't that bad.
No, I've never shit myself or a friend's couch.
No.
So I at least have that.
Yeah, that's a completely different level of.
I think everyone in the chat died of mortification. Josh, at least I didn't piss my best friend's couch. I smell a new shirt idea. You could smell the corn.
Your pee did not smell at all. That's why I didn't know it was there and why I tried to sit on it.
You don't have the best sense of smell.
Well, true. But there are certain things that I can.
Smell.
There are certain
I'm not
things
a cat.
that yeah, well, yes.
I'm not a male cat. Sometimes if I've been drinking a lot of coffee, my pee starts to smell kind of like coffee, but I hadn't even had any, leading up to that. So, but I could still smell. It totally smells like corn. Anyway, so Amanda,
like corn?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like sex and candy.
Candy. Yeah.
I don't like that song.
What?
No one does.
What?
No one does.
I also do not like that song.
Yes, very good, Rissy. It's a shitty song.
Yes, it is a shit song that I did not ever enjoy.
Well, you were a child. 90s. It's fine.
I knew a guy who did not understand the words that they were singing in that song.
Oh no!
Oh dear!
It seems very obvious, but he was really sure that they were saying, "I smell sex and bacon."
What?
And he didn't understand why they were adding the D at the end. He's like, bacon "I smell sex and bacon." Bacon D. Just like that doesn't make. That's not even a word.
Well, it was a setup for Bacon D's nuts.
That's That's.
Oh my god! Everyone in the chat is jonesing for this T-shirt, and I really want to make it just so they can all wear it to Gen Con and just sit in the front row of our show, taunting Rissy with their T-shirts.
It would only be fitting since our first year at Gen Con as the Damsels of Dorkington, we tried to get people to go pee on Will Wheaton.
Oh god.
And then they made the masks of Will Wheaton saying, "Don't pee on me." That was one of my favorite things to ever happen. So I guess this is all kind of come full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah, it's an amazing kind of, karmic process. So I'm not opposed to this t-shirt. I mean, it's not like it can be more humiliating. Just the fact that this happened at all. Melissa's therapist apparently told her, like, wow, it sounds like your friend is actually dealing really well with this. And I'm like, what choice do I fucking have? Right?
Right. There's that like initial just overwhelming panic. And then it's like, well, there's not, like, it happened. I can't suck it back up my pee hole, so I guess I'm gonna have to deal with it.
What if we could, man?
Right? Oh, totally.
No, that'd be very unsterile.
That's true, actually.
But it'd be fun.
No, it probably hurt a lot, actually.
God, you guys don't pee on my parade.
Don't pee up your urethra into the parade where you're having a urethra parade.
Back and forth.
Forever.
Back and forth. Forever, yes. Oh, Jesus.
Amanda.
What?
Tell us an embarrassing story.
Yeah.
I should have been thinking harder about this while you guys were talking, and
I'll give you a second to think. Zachary Drake says that I should pee on the front row for the VIPs. I mean, there are a lot of people who pay good money for that sort of thing.
There are a lot of people who have paid us good money, and if that's what they want, then that's what they should get.
That's true. Yeah. Fuck.
I maybe say that for the patron party.
Yes, that's true. Right. Yeah. If you qualify to come to our patron party at Gen Con, I will totally pee on you.
If you ask her nicely.
Oh, yikes. That's great. All right, Amanda, what you got for us?
Yeah. Lay it on us. You could talk about...
I think most embarrassing things I tend to block out.
That's a fun excuse. You've got embarrassing things that might happen to you in the future, though.
No, I know that you're trying to lead me into something. That's not an embarrassing thing. That's just more of a private thing that I don't want to talk about. But it's not so much embarrassing. It's just... It
would be embarrassing for you to tell it.
No,
Rissy, she's not going to tell it.
Yeah.
Let her have her privacy.
It's not a good story either. It's not entertaining.
Future stories don't have any P-tails.
P-tails?
Someday I might also pee on a friend's couch, and that sure would be embarrassing. There you go. I told a potentially future embarrassing story.
No, we need a real one.
Okay.
It's hard to come up with them on the spot. If we want to circle around and you give us one next week, that would be a good teaser for the next podcast next week.
Amanda puts the P in podcast somehow.
I put the odd in pod. Nope.
We sure do.
I put the ass in podcast. Nope.
I'll break my arm and put the cast in podcast.
Okay. That's probably the best one.
Puts the pod person in podcast.
I was going to say we're getting some amazing things happening in the chat. Josh says, next Patreon goal, Rissy's asparagus experience with Zachary Drake. No asparagus! I'm right with you there, Zach. God, asparagus pee is the worst.
I would definitely be able to smell your pee if you had been eating a lot of asparagus.
I
would be able to smell.
Oh yeah, God, it's so gross. And the thing is, I hate asparagus. It's not just that it makes your pee stink. It's like a gross floppy dick made of fibers. Ew. And it tastes like it's about to be urine.
Yeah, I don't think you've had very good asparagus then, because there's some good shit out there. There's some.
No,
it's like Brussels sprouts.
Exactly. This is people talking about fucking Brussels sprouts, and I'm like, y'all are crazy. Y'all been infected with brain worms because those things are not good.
Both of them, if you roast them properly, they're
they're like nasty little cabbages from Lucifer's scrotum where he grew them. There's no redeeming fucking Brussels sprouts. No, you got the brain worms too, Blythe. I'm really sorry.
I'm not sorry.
You just keep on eating.
I'm not sorry.
Cabbages. Yeah, Brussels sprouts and asparagus can go back to hell whence they came.
Hey guys, guess what I've been watching?
What have you been watching?
DS9.
Ah, yes, best of all Star Treks.
I've tried to jump back on that train because I tried previously, and I don't know, I got sidetracked by other stuff, and we finished watching Matt Smith, and we wanted to take a little bit of a break between Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi because they're pretty stark, like
Different.
yeah, they're
Capaldi,
like
though, right?
opposite ends of the spectrum. What'd you say?
There's not much Capaldi, right?
There's 3 seasons of Capaldi. It's basically the same as Tennant and
Wow.
Matt Smith. So
Boy, that just shows you how much I don't care about Doctor Who. Huh. All right. Anyway, go on.
surprising literally no one. Yeah, so we needed a little break from that, and I was like, well, you know, I need something to put on in the background for when I'm like working on Damsel stuff. Oftentimes I like to have something on in the background, or if I'm cleaning or cooking or whatever. So and I was like, you know what? Let's try DS9 again. I just got sidetracked by something else when I was watching it the last time. We'll give this another shot. So I started over. We'll see if it sticks this time.
Well, and the nice thing about Deep Space Nine is, unlike Next Gen, which takes 3.5 seasons to get good, DS9 gets pretty good into the second season. Because they started wholesale ripping off Babylon 5 and doing long-form storytelling.
Well, it happens.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope that you will be pleasantly surprised and come to know the love of Deep Space Nine the way I do. I love that fucking show.
Oh, honey, I don't think I'll ever understand the love of DS9 that you have, and I'm okay with that.
I was like, 15 when I got into it, so yeah.
Oh, I know. It shares a special place in your masturbatory brain. I get it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's... Oh, also, I don't think I've told you guys this at all, but do you guys know that I've been listening to a D&D podcast finally?
What?
It's the Adventure Zone, and it's some of my favorite podcasters playing D&D with their dad. And so it's really good, and none of them were like into D&D previously, really. So they're not taking it super seriously, which is kind of cool. But for the first time, guys, I've been able to push through my like massive aversion to people role-playing.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm finally like, okay, all right. I've like pushed past it. I can handle it a little bit more now. So I'm really enjoying it. It's good.
There's a chance we could get you behind a character sheet and some dice, is what you're saying.
There's always been a chance for that. It's just been scary to me because the role-playing does skeeve me out so hard. But yeah, I
to be fair, I can't really blame you for that.
I immersion therapied myself with the McElroy brothers, whom I adore, and are a national treasure in my personal opinion.
Aww.
So it's so yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying that I'm enjoying it.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so great, man. I'm like really jealous of all those kids whose parents were cool and were like, hey kids, here's some Dungeons and Dragons. As opposed to, hey kids, Dungeons and Dragons is Satan's game. Do you play it in the sewers? Huh?
I mean, I would play it in the sewers. That would be pretty badass.
I was gonna say, yeah, like now I would totally go into an old drain pipe. That would be fun.
I think a table in a warm house is a much better place to play it.
I mean, in theory, that seems to be the consensus.
There,
and I don't have any experience, so my opinion doesn't count anyway.
So, what are the two brothers? What are they playing?
3 brothers.
3 brothers. Jesus.
One of the youngest brothers DMing, and then 2 brothers and the father are playing characters. And the dad is a dwarf cleric, I believe. He's definitely a cleric. I can't remember if he's a dwarf or not. One of them is a wizard. I can't remember his race. And the other one is he's a human. I don't know. He's some kind of tank, but I can't tell you what his his class specifically is. But yeah, he's definitely like the run in and start swinging sort of character.
Could be generic fighter, could be paladin, or
it's not
barbarian.
Paladin.
Okay, so it could be barbarian. Does he go crazy? Because then he could be a barbarian.
No.
He might just be a generic fighter, and let no one interpret that as me shitting on generic fighters. Fucking love me some generic fighters.
Yeah, that's yeah. So it's really enjoyable. I'm digging it.
Well, that's great. I'm so happy because yeah, I mean, I wanted to make you role play with us at some point, but I also didn't want to really force you into it, right? Because
yeah, I mean. No, I mean, I know that that's something our fans want from us, so I will give the fans what they want. So I'm not opposed to that at all. So yeah, it was never that I was opposed to it. It's just that I felt weird about it. But
there was history. There's
exactly
understandable that it's. You were traumatized, and
old men traumatized young Blythe.
Yes.
It just that is what happened. I am finally dealing with it. So
it seems like you're dealing with it in a very healthy and constructive way.
Thank you. I learned it from watching you.
Oh,
couch pisser.
Oh, god damn it!
Sorry, I promise I'll let this go at the end of the episode. But
okay.
It's gonna be the theme.
I get it. Like, yeah, I mean, it is really funny if it weren't me.
That's the problem is I don't want to shit on you necessarily, but
pee on me.
It's really funny. So
it is really funny. I can't not acknowledge that.
Do I not go for the joke? No, I have to.
I get it. No hard feelings.
Rissy, do you have a Dork Pride chat for us this week?
I hadn't actually thought about it, but all right. Let's see. What have we talked about? Embarrassing scenarios, dealing with past trauma in constructive ways, and running out of gas. I don't even.
So the Dork Pride chat should clearly be, if you were a bird, what kind of bird would you be?
I'm like a bird, I want to fly away. The Nelly Furtado bird.
I'm like a bird, I eat things off the ground. And I'm like,
that song works really well for you.
Me too. All right. So, okay, here we go. What's the most embarrassing thing your character ever did in an RPG? There we go. Right? So I can go first, obviously. Oh God, I've had characters do really stupid shit. Any result in an instant death? No. But okay, so when I was 16 and gaming, it was the second ever game I'd ever played in, and I decided I wanted to play a really tragic character who was half dark elf and half light elf, and whose parents had raised him in a hollow tree with love, but then people who hated the idea of love between dark and light elves came and horribly murdered his parents, and then he was adopted by some kind of technologically advanced race that had like spaceships and crap. I don't even fucking remember the details on that.
Sounds boring.
But I was allowed to start the game with like a small spacecraft and then a bunch of floating orbs that could say things. And like, so basically what I spent my technology on was orbs that repeated my favorite phrases from The Simpsons. That's where I saw the leprechaun. He tells me to burn things. And also I figured out how to say I am a rock, I am an island in Tolkien Elvish and had it tattooed on my character because he is a loner. He is a tortured loner. And I, of course, made sure everybody in the game knew what a tortured fucking loner he was and got him shirtless at one point. Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing that I even had that as a character concept. Oh, he played the saxophone.
Sexy.
Yep, that is just that whole, just thinking about that, like that, I'm like, oh man, that was a bad thing that I did back in the day. Not just the horrifyingly nonsense, tragic backstory, screaming at the skies sorts of stuff. But I'm like, everyone has to know about my character's tattoo. Nah.
Amanda, what do you got?
I mean, I think I've kind of told this story before. It's not so much embarrassing about the character, but the way that I roleplayed, where one of the first times I actually played like a tabletop, not a mud game, I thought you had to specify everything that your character was doing or it would be like you didn't do it. So it was, I kept saying that we needed to stop to eat. I'm like, our characters have not eaten yet today. We should probably do that. And they're like, what? You don't have to. Okay. But it was just one of those like, oh, I just thought that if we didn't say it, then it would be like we didn't do it. They're like, no, you're not telling us like, hey, my character probably had to pee 3 times today. And they took a shit when they got up. And they were a little gassy later in the afternoon. It's like, oh.
Roll for gas.
Right, exactly. It's like, oh, that makes sense. I don't know why I felt like that was important, but I remember it was just like, oh, it's getting late in the evening. We should make sure that our characters stop and eat.
That's awesome.
Look at my wrist. It's so late.
I know. This was one of the Cthulhu-y type where it's kind of modern day setting. So my character probably did actually have a watch, but still. Didn't have to clarify that they needed to stop at the local diner for dinner. We could just assume that they did not starve to death and go on from there. So,
in retrospect, in the first couple of games I played in, there was a lot of obsession with our characters, like stopping at taverns and eating and shit. So maybe you just ended up with the wrong gaming group.
Maybe. Well, and it's like when you mud, there's a lot more of the actual role play because it's easier to get into it in that respect. So it was one of those like, I feel weird to be like just trying to have a weird conversation and not furthering the plot because most of the mudding that I did, there was no plot per se. There was no DM. It was just, here's a text-based world, go do shit in it. So
right,
yeah. But that was one of those like, oh, that actually makes it easier to game if I don't have to specify all this tedious silliness.
Yeah, so. How weird.
Right? Yeah. So yeah.
I don't remember too much of my role-playing days because I was mostly in chat rooms, and so there wasn't like a constant like storyline. So right. Not too many things happening. Unfortunately for me, one thing that I did do does stick out in my mind, so I'm gonna tell it. So, okay, this is just a weird aside, but for a long time, I thought I hated macaroni and cheese, and it turned out I just hated the way that it was made for me by my family.
Same here.
And I recently discovered, holy shit, not only do I like macaroni and cheese, I love macaroni and cheese. And I was like eating entire Kraft macaroni and cheese, like an entire box of that by myself on like a couple times a week. It was gross, the amount that I was consuming of shitty Kraft macaroni and cheese, whatever. Anyway, so it carried over into my role-playing chat room. One night I was role-playing with this fellow, and I don't know why I mentioned that my character really liked macaroni and cheese.
Oh no.
And that she would, that was the way to her heart.
Oh no.
Was macaroni and cheese.
Oh dear.
And so he roleplayed that he made me some macaroni and cheese and brought it to me, and I ate it and immediately fell in love with him. And we clearly lived happily ever after. So that's a thing that I am very embarrassed about. And I'm sorry that I told it here, and I will regret it for the rest of my life.
Nah, you'll forget.
It'll be fine.
As soon as the podcast is over, you'll forget that you...
you guys, there's amazing things happening in the chat. Josh,
yeah, the chat room is amazing right now.
Oh,
Josh
Jesus.
is saying, my character peed on the king's couch. We need to get the fuck out of here before it happens. Oh, fuck. That's really good. And apparently Justin is never allowed to have a spaceship. Oh, no, Zach. Justin says that Zach should not have a spaceship in any game. I'd like to know why.
But is it okay in real life?
Yeah. Can we just give you a spaceship otherwise?
I mean, we're not going to give him one. He has to go buy it himself. Those are kind of pricey.
Very expensive. I mean, we could call that Flat Earth guy and see if he can build us one on the cheap.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's supposed to happen again. Like,
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, he's saying that it is like, now it's, he's totally going to do it. Like, he hasn't given up.
Also, this time the world is definitely going to end on this day that I say.
The rapture totally happening, you guys.
I forgot to carry the one, so that's why I said it would happen that last time.
88 reasons the rapture will happen in 88. Oh, no, wait, I meant 8 plus 2, which is 10, plus 8, which is 18, and then 2018. That's what I meant by that.
Okay. That makes as much sense as any of the reasons that they generally give for why
that was
an
actual book that came out, 88 Reasons the Rapture Will Happen in 1988. That was actually a thing people spent money on. It was a book, and yeah. I would love to have a copy of that right now, though. This is a fun, historical artifact.
Yeah. You should go by point and figure out where they went wrong, because clearly it didn't happen, or the whole world is just filled with shitty people and nobody was raptured. Maybe that's what happened.
That would be a really fun live blog. Oh, it's allegedly still popular, huh? Okay, according to Justin.
Gross.
Whose story was it that I wanted to highlight? Yes, William. My party got captured by an evil elf, and literally everyone in the party managed to escape in transit except my bard, who was then locked in a dungeon and failed 8 lockpick checks in a row. Damn, dude. I feel for you. That's so embarrassing.
Maybe his hands were cold, and they just weren't working very well. Would be the in-character reason you could say why you couldn't do this thing that normally.
You could pee on them to warm them up.
It all comes back to that.
They'd just ultimately be colder because then they'd be wet.
That's true.
They just have to be warm just long enough to be able to pick the lock, and then theoretically. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode of the Dork Pridecast. I think we've talked about pee enough for one evening.
Aww.
Yeah. But don't worry, there will be more pee talk later, I am sure. Of course, as always, we want to give a big thank you to Sarah Donner for allowing us to use music off of her latest album, Black Hole Heart. You can find the Damsels of Dorkington on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Also, if you have a few minutes, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on iTunes. It is a huge help to us, and it costs you $0.
But if you do want to contribute in the form of more than $0, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Damsels of Dorkington, where you can get access to rewards that are only available there, such as bonus podcasts, like the Dork Pridecast we did on Sunday, or being on this list of super awesome patrons that we thank at the end of the podcast. Like these people, how are we going to thank them?
You can describe how they pee.
We could
Nope.
describe.
I don't think there's enough ways that we can describe people peeing.
I think we could describe
I don't
how they
That's not a
cause.
challenge. We don't need to see if I'm wrong.
I was going to say, damn, your creativity is certainly limited this evening, but you were saying, Blythe?
We can describe how each of these people caused the end of the world.
Oh, that's really good since we
Thank
brought up the rapture. That's great, Blythe. Well done. Well, I think that it's pretty clear that Mary Henderson is actually the dragon with 10 heads and then like all the horns on its head, and she came up out of the sea, and the Whore of Babylon was like, yo, bitch, can I get a ride? And Mary Henderson was like, hey, yo, get on me. And thereby setting a lot of shit that happens in the Book of Revelations into motion. It was just like that. Mary Henderson is a dragon, y'all.
So who does that make Joshua Griffiths in the story?
Actually, in an alternate timeline,
oh boy,
where Mary Henderson did not actually end the world as that 10-headed dragon, what happened instead was Joshua Griffiths was able to seduce her and kind of tame her. And then when the time finally came for them to consummate their dragon human love, it just ripped it was so hot, it just ripped a hole in like all of the universe and all those timelines, and everything exploded, and that's how the world ended in that timeline.
Okay. I think actually the way that the world ended, it was the fault of Richard Hirsch.
Oh.
And it was actually just with a whimper. That's how they say it's going to happen. It was kind of subtle.
Didn't even get a bang.
I mean, I don't know about that. He might have gotten a bang, and then, nope, I'm gonna
stick with it. Commit to the bit.
Commit. Do it. You must.
Rissy, tell us about Josh and Jessica Rowell.
Okay, so Josh and Jessica Rowell actually are this amazing pair of people who go around collecting everybody's clipped fingernails in the world. That's all they did. They're like this kind of like couple of evil fucking gnomes. They're like, gots to get me some of them nail clippings. And they did this for fucking years and years. They were collecting everybody's toenail clippings so that they could fashion them into the cursed ship, the Naglfar, which is a crucial part of Norse mythology's concept of Ragnarok. So this is the ship made out of everybody in the world's fucking used toenail clippings that brings the dead to fight this horrible last battle with all the Asgardian gods and the heroes and shit. So yeah, Josh and Jessica Rowell they built that ship out of toenail clippings. They never said in the mythology before who it was actually responsible for the building of the ship, but it was them. Without them, the end would never have come.
Well, another way that the world ended is that Sean Palmer, it was an accident, actually. He was just hanging out with some friends, and they were drunk. They're just drinking and having fun. And Sean actually just accidentally said these special words that they're magical, and it's kind of like an incantation, but there's all these creatures who live in the center of the earth. You think it's molten core, but it's not. And it's these horrible creatures that we have kept bound there. I don't know who we is, but somebody's doing it, and they're keeping them there, and it's great. But Sean got drunk and said the wrong series of words.
God damn it, Sean.
I know. And the earth just cracked open, and all of these creatures came roaring out, and we all died horrible, fiery, terrible, elongated, painful deaths. Forever.
Hot. And then there was John Kozlowski. who he actually, right before he ended the world, he decided to throw this big rave.
Oh, that's totally him.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So there, a whole bunch of people there, and they're just dancing like crazy. And then people realize that they're dancing with skeletons, and these skeletons grab each of these people and drag them all to hell. And that's a thing that definitely happens. There's actually a lot of art that was made about this after it happened. So somehow there was a weird time warp. But
I believe it. It sounds right.
Yeah. But yeah, he caused everyone to basically dance themselves to death.
Oh, shit!
Damn it, John. Stop throwing those raves.
Yeah.
I know, John.
We've told you once. We've told you 1,000
We
times.
gave you that skeleton so that you could have a support system for your flesh, not so you could throw skeleton raves.
We would also like to say thank you to some other important people. We want to say thank you to Alec Teller, Carlos Macera, Jason Sanchez, William Priest, Adam Rowe, Joseph Harris, Darren Wilson, Kevin Larson, April Barker, Marion Polinke, and last but not least, Stephen Kendall.
Yay!
So thanks for joining us, everyone. This has been episode 74 of the Dork Pridecast. We will see you all next week.
Deuces!
Jetpack.